Here's a tip you desire to know: managing the Dropbox. In this tutorial, we'll discuss a few helpful ways to manage the Dropbox. A couple of things: previewing a submission where you can act like a student submitting to the Dropbox and see what the student goes through. We'll talk about downloading the files individually or by zip file in a collection, and emailing your students from the Dropbox, especially those who haven't submitted something to the Dropbox yet. And we'll talk about flagging the files and how that can help you. So let's get started. Let's go into the Dropbox. And in the Dropbox, we've already created a Dropbox that we're going to use called Managing Dropbox here. But what we can do here first is take a look at the preview. So once I've set the Dropbox up, and I've added my restrictions and things like that, and I want to see how it works from a student's view and to see if a student can actually upload a file and what it's going to look like in their view. We can do this through the preview. So you click on preview here. And once I click on preview, I get this little message, Dropbox preview. I could bypass any restrictions so that I can work with the file. And I'm going to leave that check mark in there. Now I'm going to go down to the Dropbox that I've got set up. And let's go to Managing Dropbox. If I click on this, this allows me to submit the file just as a student would be doing it. And this menu legend over here is the instructions of what similar to what the student would see. So we're going to click on this and officially submit a Dropbox file. And this doesn't count in my actual Dropbox. This is only in preview mode, so we don't have to worry about this messing things up or adding to what we already have or our students will have in the Dropbox folder. So here I can see the instructions that the professor would have given, and the student will see that, and the date, start, deadline, things like that. Here's how I can submit the file, and the student can actually comment on this and send you information. So they would click on add a file, and you can do this right along with it. You can browse for the file in your computer, and let's go to we'll pick one of these files here. Let's look at the Lookout on Outlook here and pull this one up. And so I've chosen that particular file. I'm going to choose upload, and the file is telling me it's here, but I need to actually do the submit, and it's either at the top or the bottom. And then I also want to choose allow this previous submission to be available in the Dropbox for me, so that I can look at it and see that, make sure that everything is okay from a student's point of view, that it actually works. If I do not select this, I wouldn't see the file that I'm actually uploading, because it really doesn't exist tied to a user, but it exists in a preview mode that I can see it in. So now once I've checked that, let's submit. And now you'll see that the confirmation email was sent, and a view submission history. I could look at that. Here's the actual file that went up there. And now I'm going to go and look at this actual file that I did. So I'm going to exit the preview, come down here, and you'll see that I really didn't upload it. These are two files I have in there so that we can do some other testing. I really didn't upload it tied to a user. So if I want to see the file, I have to go back into preview. And in the preview this time, instead of clicking on Managing Dropbox, I now have another file that I've loaded up there. So I can click on this, and you will see here's the file that I just uploaded. So this is what it would look like from a student's point of view. They would see their submitted file, any comments they gave you, and the date submitted. And there you go on that particular one. Now let's talk about downloading individual or zip files that students have actually uploaded to your Dropbox. So here in the file list, I can see that there's two files here. If I click on Managing Dropbox and I come in here, I've got two tabs, users and files, that I can look at, and I can do some different searching. But I'm going to look at files because I may want to download a collection of files or individual. So in here it just shows me the files, and then over here it shows me who submitted them and the date and time. And if I want to download one individual file, I just check this box and choose download. If I want all of them in a zip file, I choose both of them or select as many as I want and choose this download selected files. It is now prepared in a zip file, and if I click on that, it will ask me to open it or save it. I'm going to actually open it, and you'll see here the two files. And the neat thing about this is that if I expand this column over here, here's the two files that I downloaded, but it renamed them and put the student's name on them, so I can tell. So if you've got an assignment where all the students are doing the same type of project and going to name the file very similar, you will be able to tell when you download it who submitted what. And so then I can go from here, I can open those up, add feedback, and then resubmit them to the Dropbox as feedback to the student. And there you go on that. So let's close that. Now let's talk about emailing the students. And if I go to the folder list again, and I choose any one of the particular Dropboxes, click this one, you'll see there is a already specified button up here, email all unsubmitted users here. So if I look at the users and I come down here, I can see that there's about 6, 7 folks that haven't submitted to Dropbox yet. And I could email all of them, click on that little button, and they will populate in here. I may get an error message because I don't have some of my test students with valid email addresses, but here they'll all come in as the BCC. I can put in a subject, please submit now, and give them a little message, other things that I could put in there, and then send that off. And that's how I can email all the students that have not submitted prior to when I'm seeing this. If I want to email specific students, I can choose a couple here and then choose this button here or icon, and it will email the selected users. And flagging, let's take these people off here. If I want to flag some people, you'll see that they're I'm going to go back to files here and look at it in this view. There's a couple of flags here. Maybe I thought this was a really good submission, or maybe there's something wrong that other people are doing, so I want to flag a couple of these to get back to these students a little later. So I can click on this, and then if I have a whole bunch of them here, maybe 20 or 30, and I wanted to be able to search on those that I had flagged, I can do this search here, and if this is hidden, it might be hidden like this. I could show the search options, click on that, and then do the flag status and show all files with flags. Hit the search button again, and once the search comes through, now you just see that one file, even though there are 2 there, but this is the only one that I have flagged, so it's giving me that search result. Be careful to clear your search after you're done, and then it'll come back like this, and I can unflag it if I need to, when I need to. And there you have it. We've done previewing submission as a student, downloading individual or as a zip file, emailing those specific students and a group that have not submitted anything to Dropbox, and flagging the files. And there you have it.